Hello everyone. Welcome back to another session of Lesson 2 Socialism in Europe and the Russian Revolution. Today we will study about the Civil War and the making of a socialist society.
The Civil War. When the Bolsheviks ordered land redistribution, the Russian army began to break up. Soldiers, mostly peasants, wished to go home for the redistribution and deserted. Non Bolshevik socialists, liberals, and supporters of autocracy condemned the Bolshevik uprising. The leaders moved to South Russia and organized troops to fight the Bolshevik, the Reds. During 1918 and 1919, the Greens, that is, the Socialist Revolutionaries, and Whites, that is, pro Tsarist, controlled most of the Russian Empire. They were backed by French, American, British, and Japanese troops, all those forces who were worried at the growth of socialism in Russia. As these troops and the Bolshevik fought a civil war, looting, banditry, and famine became common. Supporters of private property among whites took harsh steps with peasants who had seized land. Such actions led to the loss of popular support for the non Bolsheviks. By January 1920, the Bolshevik controlled most of the former Russian Empire. They succeeded due to cooperation with non Russian nationalists and Muslim jihadists. Cooperation did not work where Russian colonists themselves turned Bolshevik. In Khiva, in Central Asia, Bolshevik colonists brutally massacred local nationalists in the name of defending socialism. In this situation, many were confused about what the Bolshevik government represented. Most non Russian nationalists were given political autonomy in the Soviet Union, USSR, the state the Bolshevik created from the Russian Empire in December 1922. But since this was combined with popular policies that the Bolshevik forced the local government to follow, like the harsh discouragement of nomadism, attempts to win over different nationalists were only partly successful. Now we will study about the making of a socialist society. During the Civil War, the Bolshevik kept industries and banks nationalized. They permitted peasants to cultivate the land that had been socialized. Bolshevik used confiscated land to demonstrate what collective work could be. A process of centralized planning was introduced. Officials assessed how the economy could work and set target for a 5-year period. On this basis, they made 5-year plans. The government fixed all prices to promote industrial growth during the first two plans, that is in 1927 to 1932 and 1933 to 1938. Centralized planning led to economic growth. Industrial production increased between 1929 and 1933 by 100% in case of oil, coal, and steel. New factory cities came into being. However, rapid construction led to poor working conditions. In the city of Magnitogorsk, the construction of a steel plant was achieved in 3 years. Workers lived hard lives, and the result was 550 stoppages of work in the first year alone. In living quarters, in the winter time, at 40 degrees below, people had to climb down from the fourth floor and dash across the street in order to go to the toilet. An extended schooling system developed, and arrangements were made for factory workers and peasants to enter university. Crèches were established in factories for the children of women workers. Cheap public health care was provided. Students I hope you all have understood this much. We will continue this lesson in my next video. Thanks for watching.